Back at it again here, YodaDaWise, continuing our gear breakdown. So now we're moving on to penetration. All right. Now I know for those of you who have started watching these, I haven't really gone into specifics with some gears. Uh, that one we're just gonna go into like sections of what they are and what they do and specifics because some of them have special stuff. Right now we're just kind of focusing on the base of why you would want these. So with this one, we're focusing on penetration. Let's take a look. So, kind of starting from the beginning, Wild Rose was the first gear to add penetration into the mix. What is penetration? Penetration is damage, it is almost pure damage, and it is boosted with attack bonus. So, it's very vital that if you're running a penetration gear, it's kind of the counteraction to damage reduction, essentially, in a way. Not 100%, but you'll do more damage. And the reason why I say that is because Broken Fortress. Anyways, um, but that penetration percentage does get increase with attack power. Moving on from there, then they introduced the Swallow, which had attack and penetration as well. And penetration lower, attack higher, still did a lot of damage because of the crit damage bonus that was added to it. Then they added the Alcade, where you had penetration, attack, and accuracy. As you can see, they kept adding penetration to certain gears and giving you different buffs in it for whatever you needed. Right now, a standard gear set is going to be the Tanling, 2 Alcades, Intaris, and either Beetlejuice or the Fire Spirit Pants, depending on what you're running, essentially. Versus, like Dragon Slayer versus another commander, like even Orochi, so to speak. So then you have other advanced gears like the Tanlang, which is headpiece, Aldebaran, which is more for your tank builds because of the HP crit weather. Um, Formalhot or Falmalhot. I can never say some of these very well. Then you have your specific gears that were designed for specific commanders, but still you won't get this exclusive addition to it, but you can still use it for penetration and the additional skill that it produces. All right. You got Dimlight, Faceta, Alioth, and then a few more exclusive. Then you have the Celia, which in my opinion, this is a lot better than the Alcade when it comes to Dragon Slayers, for example, or Blacks even, because that crit damage is going to stack on the attack, which is going to stack the penetration. 100% just pure just annihilation there. Ruthless, we talked about a little earlier when we are doing the Strength and Weaken Effect one. This one also has penetration. Brainstorm, another exclusive, but it's pen, crit wither. Broken Fortress, I hate this gear with all of my passion here because one, they make it so expensive to get, and this 100% damage reduction is just phenomenally annoying in that first round. Then you have another exclusive. This one's for Common Czar. And then you have the first 3 for Sunraven, which add penetration. Those are the gears. I'm going to jump back over to a screenshot from the calculator that I created a while back because this is going to give you an idea how they break down what's going to give you the best here when it comes to most people are now hitting that level 40. As you can see across the board, the majority of them start between 3 and 4% as a base, which basically means that your level 40 is going to be anywhere from 15 to 20%, 50 is going to be 18 to 24%. In some cases, like the Ruthless, Ruthless has 5% base, Devil's Touch has 6% base, Tanling has 6% base. The problem between Devil's Touch and Tanling, to where Devil's Touch, which I failed to go over here, but let's take a look as to why one may be better than the other depending on your commander that you're using. Devil's Touch is negative crit, which isn't necessarily the most ideal for your attack commanders. And then Tanling is negative defense, but it also adds damage reduction. So it's kind of a trade-off there. which may not necessarily be the most helpful for your more defensive commanders like Orochi Reinhardt, to where the having the HP and total pen might be a better blessing. The Holy Grail is another one, but that's on the lower end. Going back to this, so the most commonly used one is Tanling. Many have been switching to Fomalhaut because of the true damage skill, which negates the Broken Fortress 100% damage reduction skill to an extent. But you also lose 2% in initial base penetration damage and almost 12% when you hit level 50 with that gear. That's a huge difference in the realm of penetration. You have to have at least about 97 to 98% minimum for it to be fully effective, and the goal there is 100% penetration. And a lot of that is not feasible without having to accommodate the Dawn Hall and the jewel set, at least two of them three of them from the Andromeda jewel set, which is only going to benefit 100% infantry because it's an infantry jewel set. If you were using the Tanling or Devil's Touch, you would much more easily hit that 100% penetration without relying on the Andromeda jewel set or even the Dawn Hall as a whole. That's what it comes down to when you're looking at these percentages and what's going to be best for you, because ultimately, even though penetration is a must-have these days, all of these gears have their own, special buffs, so to speak, that make them more beneficial towards a different commander than they would just any commander. That's kind of a breakdown of the penetration gears. Again, I didn't go into specifics with only a couple of them, the differences between them, but the main point here was for you to have a wider view of what a base level versus 40, 30, or 50 base or level gear is going to have in that penetration, and how best you can possibly build your gear set to be beneficial in that way. That's where I've been kind of going with the whole SWE, RWE, and penetration at this point, is more or less to see base levels versus max levels, and what's going to benefit you in that stance and give you a better idea of how you should probably play it going forward. So stay tuned for the next one.